Everybody exhale. The holidays are here. Hello, everybody jumping into the scope. This is Scoping the Scope on steroids because you bring your scope and come and jump in this scope. I have my scope here, Periscope, for those who have not seen Periscope. Periscope is an amazing live streaming app. And somebody said, Yolanda, you always got a cord attached to you. So I'm going to take that loose. We're inside Tuya. Everybody's asking me, okay, how do I say it? It's Tuya. Hashtag TUOIA, the uniqueness of it all of this amazing space. You just got through watching an amazing performance. Give me your name again.
Eric Perkins.
Eric Perkins did what we have a pre-scope. Y'all, we got a pre-scope, we got a scope, and then we got an after-scope. This is the essence of community coming together thanks to technology. What we realized, Rita, last week is that we have been live streaming pretty much since the 90s. And so we've always had a component of this at Dryer Buzz. And so now we're doing it with Periscope. I'm Yolanda Lattimore. I'm the editor and blogger at DryerBuzz.com. Somebody told me I stopped saying blogger. One of the first online digital publications about Atlanta. And I'm sitting here with Rita Fashioner Thomas. She has come in on the scope. She helps entrepreneurs go pro. I think that's the best tagline I can say, because you can't go to her unless you're ready to go pro. I mean, it's the bottom line. She's going to help you go from being an entrepreneur to being a full-on company. Yesterday, I was at the state capitol.
Okay.
And those of you can watch this video, amazing video. I had to kind of talk myself to get up, drive into the city, and capture this video. 100 plus female entrepreneurs at the state capitol. Yesterday, apparently, was Global Female Entrepreneur Day. And so it was, you always see the pictures of people on the steps of the Capitol.
Right.
So that's what they did. They wanted to try to break a world record for that, getting 100 plus on the, and then they had a press conference. And a number of female entrepreneurs talked about what it took for them to be in business. And I thought about you because it was some of them who were really in business. I mean, really in business. They more than sell something. It's beyond their passion. One of them talked about the hardship of providing that weekly payroll.
That's right.
The pain point of the entrepreneur. Somebody talked about how, a lot of people think it's a great lifestyle.
Right.
Because we get to go. I mean, like today, I got invited. I'm leaving here, going to an amazing VIP event. That's the good side of it. But if I had to, and one of the things we talked about with the internet, and we look at the newspaper industry, how they came online and lost their billion-dollar industry.
Yes, they did.
Not thinking about those income that week, that payroll you have to make.
That's
and they
right.
we never did push this back. We got to push that back too. They thinking about meeting that billion-dollar payroll that they had. And so we talked about that. So to see what female entrepreneurs really address that side of it, because that's what we're encouraging people to get to, right? So to see them talk about what their pain point was, also how excited they are and what they're doing, and then to look around and to see hundreds of female entrepreneurs. And believe it or not, if you go to DryerBuzz.com and you watch the scope, the person who put it together, the first thing she came up to me, she says, I see you online talking about this gender space, because I've been going in on women about trying to be in that quote-unquote safe space. And when you are in business, you kind of have to come out of that safe space. And she said, that's the continued conversation. We got to make sure we talk about it. I said, okay, but today we had to celebrate. So I had a great time yesterday. Opened my eyes. As you saw, I came to 2 years last night.
Right. And
Did
scoping.
Epic scope. I don't even know how long I scoped. What time did I get here yesterday? Maybe 5?
Yeah.
And finally unplugged the scope at 7.
Wow.
Because I just threw it out there saying we would talk about it today, and we talked about it a little bit, and we talked about Atlanta, what's the brand of Atlanta right now, and are most of us outside Atlanta. So, Marlene, are you going to stick around? Because I'd love for you to jump on the scope.
Yes.
Come on, jump on. Come on.
Right now, okay.
Because what we want to do, we're going to do, here's what we're going to do, is since we've got an awesome performer in, we're going to do Scope to 12. And we're going to talk about female entrepreneurs and how important the gender space is. Before I put out the argument that we've got to come out of the gender space, So I want to talk about this is Marlene, my favorite barista. She is an entrepreneur. She and her husband own the Community Bean. And we scope from I've been scoping all week, y'all. We scoped from your spot the other day. And tell us what Rita and I are drinking. Product placement.
Okay.
No shameless plug.
Okay, Yolanda is drinking a frappe. We call it a brain freeze at our location, but it's a brain freeze frappe, and it's caramel and chocolate with almond milk.
Wow.
So we can make a frappe with almond milk or
She
soy
snuck
milk.
the almond milk.
Or
She's been trying to
coconut
get me on
milk.
almond milk, y'all.
Yeah. For those of you that need to be, watched that are lactose intolerant. But we also have a sugar-free option too, with sugar-free. Yes, sugar-free option with sugar-free syrups. And putting coconut milk in there for those of you that are really diabetic. The coconut milk is
Really diabetic.
got
Some people
zero
like to say they got
sugars.
a
Yes,
little
zero
sugar.
sugars in it. And so by putting that in with the sugar-free caramel or vanilla, and so it'll make it a really good treat for somebody that's diabetic. And then Rita right here, she's has our mango smoothie, which is one of our her favorite and one of our top sellers. So, but we also have a pina colada smoothie that's really good
they
too.
do.
Excellent. So,
And where are you located?
we are located at 8341 Grady Street here in Douglasville, just a little outside of the downtown area, but not too far.
Right. Maybe a street over.
Yeah, a street over.
2 blocks over from
Yeah.
downtown.
Yeah.
Downtown Douglasville. What I wanted to talk about then, I did not set my timer, y'all. But okay, it's 11:42. We're gonna go to 12. I promise we will go to 12 and then we're gonna break down, reset, and get our after scope going. But I've been throwing this conversation out online because I get added to a number of Facebook groups. I mean, like a number of Facebook groups, and many of them are all female, or the networkings are all female. And I can see, like yesterday, okay, I felt the strength of women in that space of doing a female entrepreneur. But I think that here's how it started. Somebody added me to the group called Perry Girls.
Okay.
I think it was Perry Girls. The Perry Girls is real popular on Periscope.
Okay.
And these are women who Periscope. And they had a day where they said they were posting their Periscope links, right? And so I posted my Periscope link, but also because I have an ebook about how to Periscope, I posted a picture of that. And I got this inbox message that was a book and a half about how that they were trying to create this safe space for women. I don't know how I offended them, but I'm still trying to understand their point of view. But they said that the branding, the soliciting, and I'm like, I didn't really solicit, I didn't understand.
You just wanted to give information.
I was giving information. We're talking about periscoping. Okay. But what they said was they were trying to create this safe space for women. And what I find is that women think promoting your business is like you becoming the used car salesman.
Right.
They oftentimes relate it to being the used car. Like, we don't want to become, and I think they even use some of that language, don't want to become the used car salesman. Or I'm at conferences and we talk about promoting, because I always bring up, why don't you advertise your business? Because I sell advertising. And oftentimes they tell me, well, they don't want to be the used car salesman. It's almost like they feel like a dentist or something, pulling teeth or something. It is not something that women do. And the numbers don't lie, because you can't turn on your radio and hear commercials for women-owned businesses. Okay?
Right.
You don't open your newspaper and your magazine and see women-owned businesses.
Right.
So in that we want the safe space, is the gender track holding us back?
Yeah, it is. It is. I remember a few years ago when I first appeared in a magazine, and some people were supported, okay?
Right.
And then there were others who pretty much said, oh, she thinks she's all that.
So you had some backlash.
Yeah, I had a lot of
And I
backlash.
remember that because, it's on your profile, the
Yes.
cover, you're on the cover of the magazine.
Right.
And you got a lot of backlash. Now, what was the backlash specifically, though?
The backlash was pretty much what I said. They thought that, I was overstepping my bounds
Wow.
by advertising my business in that way. And I thought that was the most ludicrous thing that I'd heard in a long time. Jealousy is such a wasted emotion.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
envy. What waste?
Yeah.
What waste? We as women, we need to get together and we need to promote each other. Every time that I am in a space,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter if I'm at 2 years or if we're at Arts in the Plaza or wherever
Right.
we were, Marlene here
Mm-hmm.
was actually promoting Mousy. She didn't
Yeah.
promote Community Bean.
Right. Right.
She promoted Mousy. She told what Mousy's, what 2 years was,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and she had it down to a science.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's what I'm talking about. This is somebody who cares about other people and wants to see other people succeed.
So it's easy for us to be an ambassador for somebody else.
We need
Because even last night, to call out Sharon Mousy Brown, encourage your daughter to jump on the scope
right.
when how hard it is. Look at her. Come on, you gonna come and jump on
no,
the scope?
that's-
See? No. Exactly. With her drill in hand. Come and show them what, at least what a custom frame person does with drill in hand. Come. Say hello to the people. Sharon Mousy. But
want
that's
them to
what I'm
see what I do
saying.
with this.
Because same thing with her. She could talk about dryer bus. She could
Right.
be an ambassador for the sculpt and what we're doing here in the space. And she fills the space with people.
Absolutely.
But then in that,
When it comes to herself, she's very
Exactly.
shy
exactly.
in
Well, I got, look,
promoting
I
herself.
got her.
There's room on the couch.
Yeah.
There's room on the couch. But see, that's what
Marlene,
that's
my
what we
PR
want.
person. I'm telling you.
But that's what we want to talk about. It's like it's in that gender space. We feel safe enough in this space, and we can clearly be ambassadors for other people. But why
we need
is
to
it?
be ambassadors for ourselves?
So
You know?
what's the fear? What is the fear in that? Because that's
Stepping out,
Mhm.
fear of change,
Mhm.
fear of seeming conceited.
That's it.
yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is that
That's
just us as women, or is that?
I
'Cause
think
me
so.
know.
No, it's
That's how I grew up.
Did you see the
Yeah,
video?
it's that women.
Did you see the pre-video I did last week in school? When I arrived, the men were already here.
Right.
Right.
They'd already bonded. They'd already
Yes,
got the conversation.
absolutely.
And when I interviewed each man on that couch, they referenced the other
The
guy.
other, yeah.
Do we as women, do we do that?
No.
Why not? What is that?
The ones here do. We all do.
As ambassadors
Yeah,
for each
yeah.
other,
Right, we all do,
but
yeah.
do we?
But when
do
we
For
go
ourselves,
out into
no.
other spaces,
Yeah.
I don't see that happening.
So
very
we
often.
just that's what I'm saying, because I over the last year when I've gone into networking spaces when they're both genders, I usually take pictures and it's a stark contrast to what the women are doing in events and what the men are doing, and the
That's
men are
right.
always in a huddle,
Right.
always. They don't sit down to the very last minute. The women, they come in and that's
to
it.
ourselves.
That's it.
Yeah.
Unless they know somebody.
Do you think it's all the jealousy and envy like you're talking about?
Because we feel like it's gonna
women
come
are
up.
just that way
Intimidated.
sometimes,
We're,
you know?
you know,
Yeah,
we
by
are
other
intimidated.
people.
each
Yeah, I
other.
believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that.
We're not open enough to go ahead and say, well, what do you do? Or,
Yes.
you know,
Yes,
hi, I'm
right.
so and so.
Or to just
Yeah.
uplift someone.
Yes.
Right. Because even if you tell me what you do, you know, women have that thing in their brain like, oh, she's all that. What is
Right.
she trying to
Or
do?
Yeah, and
about
you
it?
wouldn't
You
then-
know, it's
Right.
always that little thing.
You wouldn't then turn around and
Yeah.
tell me what you do because you think that
Other people
that
are going
person
to
just
think-
overstepped.
Yeah.
Same things,
Yeah.
right? Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is a legitimate conversation that we need to have
definitely.
about this.
Yes.
But if we do that in the gender space, where we're in an all female space, and you feel like if I come and tell you about my business, now that person's feel like, okay, well I'm all that. You don't tell me about yours. If we're doing that in the quote unquote safe space, then what kind of strides are we making out of the space?
You're not
And
making
that's the
any.
problem. We're not making any. You
No.
know, and then we wonder why there's such a gap, why there's such a difference.
That is amazing, because you know me, I'm that person. I don't, whatever space I'm in, I'm gonna tell you about dryer. I'm gonna tell you about dryer buzz.
That's
But
right.
listen, you want to come and jump on the couch too? 'Cause
Yes, please do.
Yes.
we've been
yes.
coaching our entrepreneurs, and you know, there's always people behind the camera. Because you brought us our music today, so come on. So come on, jump and
Yeah.
tell me what you
Fill
think
the
about what
couch.
we're saying. Though, do you experience it?
Go right ahead.
Because no more are
We
you
got
in the
faith in you.
gender space than with Mary Kay. So, and Mary Kay is, I mean, tops for networking. Yeah, do we have everybody? So, I mean, Mary Kay is tops for female networking. So, can you resonate with what the ladies are saying, or?
Yes, I can. It is hard for women to put themselves out there when it's a lot of women don't appreciate others coming into their space, I think.
Okay.
So that, I believe, have a lot to
Because one of the things yesterday it talked about women being the most educated and women are starting businesses at record numbers. But if we're starting these businesses at record numbers and we're not out there talking about and promoting these businesses, so what's the point?
Right.
What is the point? What do we I don't understand. I don't understand. So what do I do? What do I need to do as a blogger? What do I need to do?
You need to
Besides have a show like this
Yeah.
and get 3 women, 4 women, 5, there's 5 women in the space.
right.
We've got an audience and a studio audience that's building, and we need to create buzz. What do? Amazing opportunity. It gets no better than this. What do we do from this point?
the best teacher is example.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if we can carry ourselves in a way,
Right.
okay,
Right.
where people can learn from us, where other women can learn from us,
Mm-hmm.
that to me is the best example. You know, I think many women have learned from Marlene when she gets out there and she promotes other businesses. Not only does she promote Tuyas, she promotes at Douglasville. I mean, in her shop, she's wearing their T-shirt,
Mm-hmm.
promoting their business.
And I stopped by yesterday. I mean, was yesterday, or the day before yesterday,
That was
and there was
Wednesday,
a number of people in and out of this space. So, what is the female ecosystem? I guess I could say. What does it look like? What do you expect as a woman in business? What do you expect from your community? That's a question I think I can ask.
Well, to come visit local businesses, buy from local businesses, and word of mouth. Tell people.
That's right.
I mean, just get it out there.
Right.
I mean, don't feel like, okay, I went to this business and, never talk about it again. Even though you go there frequent there quite often, you should be telling people about it. So that way more people will come to that business, because sooner or later you might come back to that business and have their doors closed, and
And
Absolutely.
that I think
Yes.
is a big part of it, because a lot of times we get resources in our community, but then we can't sustain them. But if we as women are driven to not speaking about and boasting,
That's right.
bragging, even though in some terms like exploit, like I use the word exploiting a lot. I mean, it's something you do. You exploit an opportunity in advertising. You exploit an opportunity to create buzz. I mean, but naturally for women to use that kind of language, is it language? Does the language about advertising and promoting? Does the language need to change?
I think it's the thinking.
I think, yeah,
The
exactly.
mindset.
Like,
So-
you're not competing. It's not a competing thing.
Exactly.
You gotta
Okay.
get that out of your brain. It's not a
Okay.
competing
Okay.
thing. So I think that's where the jealousy comes in, because
That's
you're thinking
right.
you're competing with somebody.
That's right.
But if you get that out of your brain, and it's just you are promoting someone else, you're naturally, how do you want to say it? Proud of that person. You want to see them succeed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That
So
makes
you
sense.
find that if you become an ambassador for somebody else, and then to even have those kind of concerns, that if I talk about this person, is this person going to feel bad because I'm talking about them, or if I'm talking about this person, does somebody feel like we're setting up to compete? I mean, when we're all business owners, we're all trying to pour into our community. To have that kind of worry and concern, that bothers me, and that's why I have to ask, because even like yesterday, you look around and I see all of these women, and I'm like, but then it's almost like they're invisible. It's almost like women want to be in business, but then they want to be invisible in business. So, and I just think that we should boast and brag, without
talk
having to
about
worry
ourselves.
about it. Definitely
Yeah.
talk about ourselves. 'Cause
Absolutely.
the hardest thing that I've had to do, if somebody has a comment, it says, you said it, exploiting or taking advantage, what women like to be thought of, I can't get the end of that. I think it's the language, I think, for women, the language that maybe men use, or men taking advantage of a situation. I think women have a problem with that. I think it's the language. It's the
I
language.
have example also, like my neighbor,
Mhm.
she sells Avon.
Mhm.
And I'm Mary Kay. We were right next door to each other.
Okay.
So I would try to not help her, to put her stuff out there also.
Mhm.
I always give out her cards.
Okay.
Passing out or tell people, oh, I can still get you Avon if that's what you
Mm.
like. And just turn them over to
So
her.
you guys kind of I did a meme about that one time where I said if we're not collaborating, then we are competing,
That's right.
and that's a collab because that if you on the business side, that's two different price points.
Right.
So somebody who might not want a Mary Kay price point to be able to say to your neighbor, but one thing I have noticed is when you do that, sometimes that person they don't know how to proceed.
No, they're taken aback.
They're taken aback by it, the kindness of it. Because I got home last night and I said it to somebody. I missed that comment. I'm sorry. Post it again. I'm getting a lot of notifications that I see the comments coming up. I got home yesterday and I pulled out, I had a stack of somebody. I told somebody to bring ham. They said sandwich meat.
No.
All right, I got to get with Shay on this. Okay, wait, she says okay. Oh, cool. She's got ham and crackers. Okay, cool, perfect. I guess let me try to tweet her back. Y'all, it's live and interactive, and Shay is on the way from the Jay and Shay show, and she's bringing some party trays. But let's talk about being taken aback because I got home yesterday from the networking, and I said, and as usual, we got that stack of business cards, and when you come home from the network, you got people who have shoved their card in your, you're looking at the card and you're trying to like, what, or somebody who was kind, you remember their smiles, like from being in that space yesterday with 100+ female entrepreneurs, there were one brand stuck in my head, and because they were genuine, they were appreciative when I said, hey, that's a live scope over there. Go over there and talk about your business. They was like, she said, let me get my business partner, and it's 2 dope girls. And I remember that because one, they weren't taken aback when I presented the opportunity.
Okay.
There were several that were kind of taken aback, and then there were those that almost pushed me out the way because they saw a live Periscope. Oh, is this Periscope? And I mean, literally like knocked me down to jump on the Periscope. I don't remember who they were, what they said, because I was stuck there.
Right.
But these 2 girls, they went and they entertained the scope while I had something else to do. But I just remember it was 2 of them, and I remember she said dough because it prompted me to say money or pastry.
Yeah.
And so she explained we're bakers.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, and so it was 2 dope girls, and so I got home. I remembered that I didn't have to have their business card. I just remembered that exchange. And like you said, when I offered the opportunity to them, or when I asked what do you do, they weren't taken aback because you do get that when you and we out networking with women. You go, what do you do? And they defensive,
Right.
because they feel like they're going to be judged at some point or whatever. And I talked about doing the elevator pitch where the person's like, their eyes are all over the place. They're trying to remember their elevator pitch.
Right.
But they really think I'm asking for the wrong reason. And I'm asking because I might want to interview you or something. Right. But I do get it all the time. And I don't know what it is, but because, and then too when I say I'm a blogger, because they figure, well, a blogger, you can go negative, you can go positive, you can go negative. You can be nice and still flip on them. So there's always, I see that wall that women entrepreneurs have. Let me go back in the scope and catch some of the comments. So we've got to figure out how to get people beyond that being taken aback so that we can, if we're going to be in the gender space, female entrepreneurs, that we are truly helping each other. That even at the end of the day of being on the scope today, that you all feel like it was able to do something. Like if I was to say, oh, you own a coffee shop, I don't want to do it, somebody, like you might get defensive thinking, oh, now I got to explain the difference between my coffee shop and other coffee shop. Right. As opposed to that being an opportunity to impress upon me to like you, stop right there. Just make me like you. But if you're worried about if I'm going to now judge your coffee, the size of cups you use, oh, well, the cup was big over there, it was a little bit more cream. So we put each other on we've already said it. We put each other on the defense. And that's the biggest part of Fearless Friday, I think, that we have to deal with.
It is. It is. You know, I think we need to get out of this place where we feel that people are after us. One.
Oh.
Two, we need to get to the place where we genuinely want to be there for each other. I believe in karma. I believe that what goes around comes around.
Right.
I truly believe that if you are kind and good and gracious to others, the same thing is going to happen to you. And I think that all of us need to be in that place where we are kind and we are gracious.
Right.
And we want to help others. Collaboration, wow. Competition, there is so much out there for each and every one of us.
And
if we
competition is
wrap-
healthy, right?
Yes, healthy competition, yes. But you know, I think what we need to realize is that I don't care how learned you are in your field, you don't know everything.
Right.
And there is somebody else who's going to do something better than you. Learn from that person, you know, and let them learn from you. You know, and if we ever break down our walls enough
Yes.
to realize that and to open ourselves up, you know, we will all benefit from that. We'll all benefit.
So it makes me wonder when you think about the numbers, because all the groups, the female groups, I mean, they've got good numbers, but there's always that core group in the front. You know, are they the only ones benefiting from it? If these are the pain points, competition, being taken aback when somebody offers you an opportunity.
Right.
If everybody beyond the people who started the group, you know, is feeling like that, then you got to wonder what the success is, and that is the scary part.
Exactly. And the thing is that if you look at male-owned businesses and look at their numbers compared to ours,
Right.
there's a market difference.
It's,
You know, and it's not all about, well, maybe they're too brusque or whatever. It's about us getting rid of the fears that we have
right.
and getting out there and doing the same thing.
Wow.
Opening up ourselves. You know, we talked about language. No, I don't believe the language should change. I believe that we should change to accept the language and start using it.
There you go. Okay, and so to break down, that's our Fearless Friday, y'all. We got a holiday party. You want to come in, just kind of give us some going out music, just a little beat. We are gonna turn this around. We're getting ready to have a holiday scope, an after scope. Rita Foshner Thomas, Marlene at Community Dean,
Carolyn and Mary Kay and Braithen Music.
what is it?
Braithen Music.
Braithen Music, and she has us some holiday music on the scope. We're gonna stop this scope so you guys can watch the replay. We just kind of touched the surface and discovered some pain points. We discovered some pain points about being a woman and an entrepreneur. So it's holiday party time, y'all. We're gonna do holidays at Tuya. So stop the scope, wait for the after scope. We're coming right back after the scope. Thank you.
Spiritually filled, thinking woman, and that is what we've been lacking in our community.
Go now to
A spiritually filled, thinking woman, and that is what we've been lacking in our community.
Go now to dryerbuzz.com and follow @dryerbuzz on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's all about the buzz.